Awesome, guys. Well, look, let's dive into stuff. So this call, because this is obviously the first one, Kevin, for you coming back, and then for you three guys here, what I'm going to run through is the typical process that we're going to run through every single outbound call. I'm also going to run through the script. You're going to hear me go through the script so you can understand tonality, what it sounds like and everything like that. And then we'll go through the appointment booking process. First off, has everyone been through the day one trainings? Be honest.
One task left to do, and it's literally, I'm assuming it's the dialer is GoHighLevel, or?
So there's two. GoHighLevel will be the one that you unlock when you get to the 6 closes. You do already have access to that, so you can call confirm people on GoHighLevel because they'll automatically import from when you book them in through Calendly into GHL. But then the other thing, Morgan, will be the dialing itself, because of how you can get volume out, is closed CRM. And guys, I know you were discussing that before, you will get access to that today for close.
Yeah, that's my question, because I've not.
You'll get access to that today, guys, with all of that stuff. All right, so what I want to do on this call is those 3 things. So number 1, understand where we're at the moment. So obviously you've all been through the day 1 trainings, which is awesome. A couple things. First off, Morgan, give me a win. A personal win and a work-related win.
Getting up at 5 AM this morning, even though I went to bed at 1.
I love that.
And getting to the gym and going on a run.
Love that.
And then I guess it's the both personal win and work win. I was up early to get work done, and then I was in the gym too.
No.
Well, I don't really have any particular win, to be honest. I'm alive.
You've got to have a win, man. You've always got to have a win every day. Go on, you must have had something.
So I went jogging for 40 minutes straight non-stop. So
Boom.
I would say that's one.
How's that not a win? Love it. Latham, give us a win.
Getting there 5 minutes earlier.
Love that. Kevin?
He was the first one.
I had a pretty good workout yesterday, so I think I would definitely say that's a good.
You love your push-ups, don't you, Kevin?
I do actually. I think push-ups are a great exercise.
Love it, man. Love it. So what we're always going to do is I'm going to check. So on the start block Slack channel, before the end of every single call, we're going to put in our intentions for the day. So for example, if you're dialing, you're going to say, I'm going to do 400 dials and get 2 sets. Why do we do that? Because if we say what we're going to go and do, we're more likely to do it than just saying, oh, I think I might get it, right? We always put down with intention what we're going to go and get. And if we don't get it, look, that's okay, but then we understand why we haven't got that in the first place, right? And I'm not here to slate you, I'm here to make you guys the best versions of yourself in terms of sales and selling, just to be really, really clear. So if you think I'm being harsh at some point, I'm not. I want the best for you, just to be clear with that. Now, here is our projections tracker. So we've got this broken down into 2 sections. We've got our weekly targets, and then we've got our monthly targets, which has the KPI that we need to hit in terms of calls booked on Outbound for the month, right? So your weekly targets will go into here, and then we'll check on a daily basis with the Outbound team what's going on in terms of, so for example, I know Kevin for a fact, you'll probably end up doing $400 minimum, won't you, today? Let's be honest, $400 minimum. And then in terms of, you can't control meaningful conversations as much. There's no target really for that. But what we can control is the booking side of stuff, which I think more than fair for you, Kevin, if we go for this, in terms of this week, so $400 today, but you want to hit, you'll probably hit 400 tomorrow. So let's go 800 for this week. And I'm using you, Kevin, as an example here, and then 4 sets, 2 each day. And then that from there, if we're hitting a 50% KPI, we want 2 shows. So that's how we run it, guys, just so you're really, really clear. And then when we get really clear on the data in terms of meaningful conversations, we'll set the targets for those as well as the minimum KPI for that. That way there's no wishy-washy stuff, exactly. And then all we do here, for example, let's say Kevin's target is to hit in the month 5,000 dials minimum. Is he on target? We add up all the dials from the week and we see, based on KPI, is Kevin in KPI or not? Does that make sense, guys?
Makes sense.
Awesome. So that's how we're going to track in terms of KPI. So Kevin, you already know what yours are for today, 400, 2 sets, right? And what Kevin will do by the end of this call, he will put that into the start block channel because Kevin has some of this stuff already. So you can set the example for these guys that have come in here. All right. Now, the other thing is going to be just making sure that there's only one thing that will piss me off, and you don't want to piss me off. It is going to be not doing your EOD/data, right? Make sure that's done because it's there to best help you. because I want you getting to 5 closes as fast as possible so you can earn more money for the business, but also you get your base, right? You get a bit of financial security. And so I want you getting to that as fast as possible. The best way to help you guys to make sure you get to that as fast as possible is filling out your EODs in the correct way and your data. So that way I can help you in the best way possible, because I can send you over voice notes about things from call recordings that I listen to. Let's say you're struggling with the opener and people aren't necessarily giving you time of day. I can listen to your tonality because I know the opener works. Kevin knows the opener works. It's just your tonality 9 times out of 10 with stuff. And that's something that we'll train over time with everything. You're never going to be the best at anything in the world. You've got to get the reps in, and we will do that as a team together. What we'll do from that point onwards then is we'll go through the dials, the sets, the show rate for everybody, see who's ahead, see who's behind on targets. Are we on track? Are we not? And then I want to do a personal check. I want to see how everyone's doing on a personal basis in terms of, are you hitting the gym? Are you looking after your health? Are you making sure your mental state is good? Because if your mental state is not good, you're never going to want to dial in the first place. Is there any questions about the first bits that I covered there?
The projection sheet, maybe I didn't get it. Is it on the Notion site?
So this is for me to access. And the reason is because I'll input these numbers for you. So on every single call, so let's say we're on call on a Friday, so we'll say, so let's say Silver, for example, did you on Friday hit your 200 target of dials? Yes. By the way, because it's your first day, I don't expect you to get a set. I just want you to hit your target in terms of dials. Did you hit your 200 dials? Fucking awesome. And then all I do here on this section, let's say this is you here, let's say for the month, because you've obviously got next week as well, let's say your target is 1,500 dials within the month, and I want you by next week to have at least 1 set a day, so we're at 5, let's say. Next week, where are we at? Have we hit the 1,500? If we hit the 1,500 and you're at the 5 sets minimum, I know you're on target. Because what this feeds into then is the whole KPI data for the month. All right.
Yes.
So,
It's
so
just that I wanted to see it so I could have it here.
sure, man, sure. So the weekly is what we're doing on a daily, and we update that based on your weekly target. That then, at the end of the week, I will update this based on where you're at the moment, and to see whether you're in KPI and if you need to dial, for example, on a Saturday if you're behind or ahead. If you're ahead, awesome. I want you all to be ahead, right? And that's just going to come down to me helping you guys as much as possible with training. Does that make sense,
Okay.
Silver?
Makes sense.
Awesome. Would you prefer Silver or Shaquille?
Either one.
Awesome.
Shaquille is my second name, that's why.
Got you. So, training-wise, what we're going to go through on today's call, guys, is going to be first off the script. Has everyone gone through the script? Be honest. I don't mind if you haven't because it's your first day, but let me know, have you been through the script?
I had a read through it.
Good man. Shaquille, have you been through the script? Looks like he's disconnected. Kevin, have you been through the script?
I've looked at the new cards.
Good man. And Latham? Good man. So what we're going to do on this call is I'm going to walk
Yes, my apologies.
Go
I
here.
the video. I didn't really word by word.
here. Yeah.
After the recording.
So you have been through it, Shaquille, yes?
So I have been through the script, but
You haven't
through audio, no?
I don't expect you to memorize it off the bat. Don't worry about that. But have you been through it and just had a look through it?
Yes.
Good. So what we want to do, guys, here is understand and literally breathe the script, right? Now, I'm literally gonna hammer you guys on this script throughout this whole week, right? This week and next week, because this script prints. Kevin knows it prints. When he doesn't book, it's because he's not on script. And Kevin's found that out himself before, the hard way, by doing 700, 800 dials and getting no bookings before. Right, and those days will happen, but if you stick to the script, the probability of you booking way more is going to be way higher, right? So what we want to do is break this down into sections. So we've obviously got our opener, which is our pattern interrupt, right? Typically every single business will hear the same shit over and over again. Hey, is this XYZ from XYZ? I'm calling from XYZ company. How are you today? They know instantly it's a cold call. So what do we need to do? We need to come from a different angle compared to everybody else, right? We need to stand out. So that's where we've got our opener. Then we move on to the pattern interrupt, which is going to be the thing they don't expect, right? This is the thing where they're like, oh, I didn't expect that. I'm going to give this person a bit of time of day because they sound like they enjoy their life. They don't feel like they're going to hate themselves because they're going through the same process every single time of, hey, is this XYZ company from XYZ thing? It's XYZ name here from XYZ company. We don't want to sound like that. We want to sound different. Now, once we've got past the pattern interrupt, you'll know then, if you can get past, so for me, for example, if I get past this and they let me pitch, 9 times out of 10, I'll get a booking out of them. Why? Because I know how to probe and get the right pain out of people. And this is what this is set up for. So this, just to go through guys with you, word for word here, same for here, word for word. When we get to here, this is the framework. So there's a script, which is you say this word for word, and there's a framework. The reason why we do a framework is we can't predict what's going to happen. But if we follow the discovery framework of like what specifically are you doing that right now, man, to get new jobs in the first place, we go through the what phase. Then we go through the how phase. So, how many jobs are you actually averaging per month right now? And then we understand their goal, where are they actually wanting to get to? And going, how many of those solo jobs are you actually wanting to get per month? Got you, so you're at 3 a month and you're wanting to get to 6. You're really wanting to double your revenue from where you're at right now, if that's correct. Oh yeah, 100%. Cool, man. Like, what's actually stopping you in the first place? Why do you feel like it's stopping you from getting to 6 jobs? And then we probe. When you say X, what do you actually mean by that? When you say 6 jobs, what do you actually mean by 6 jobs? Is it six of the solo jobs that you're wanting? Or is it just any sort of jobs? And get really clear on what they want. Then we ask them, and what this is, guys, this will set you up for if you wanted to go into sales and go into closing. This will set you up to understand how the framework works for closing, because all this is the exact same as what a closing call is, but way longer, right? You're on the call for a little bit longer. So what we want to do then is probe. When you say you want more jobs, what do you actually mean by that? And then we go into the time gap, right? We get a real understanding of how long they've been looking for this problem or solution for. Because what we're doing then, by understanding this here, is we're building what, Morgan? What do you think we're doing by saying, how long have you been looking to get X for?
Urgency.
Yeah, urgency and leverage on the call. Because if they say, could you send me an email? Or they say to you, oh, I need to go, can I go speak to my partner before we're gonna call? And be like, look, you can do whatever you like, man. But in all honesty, like, if you've been saying to me that this has been going on for the last 6 months, and you're waiting another, let's say, couple of days or weeks, you're missing out on consistent jobs coming through on a daily basis. So what's more of a priority? You go and speak to your business partner about this, or getting the call booked and then bringing them on the call instead? And then we book the call from there. We know then we can book the call. Obviously go through what they've tried in the past, and then from here, and by the way, the more that you do this, the more you'll understand that you don't actually have to go through everything. You will know exactly when to pitch. For example, if I was dialing, I could go through the goal, what's like, why are we not there yet? And then I could understand this guy's got enough pain now, so I can pitch, right? And when we pitch word for word again. What we want to do before we pitch is we want to make sure that we give permission and also dangle a carrot, right? And what I mean by dangle a carrot is build curiosity. With anything, our subconscious mind says to us, like, every single time, we always go towards the danger, right? For some reason, we always have curiosity around things that we're not too certain about, right? That's why you see in horror films, all of the white girls always get killed first, right? Because every single time they're just the most curious ones, and then something always goes wrong, right? So as of this so far, is there any questions about what I've covered here?
Nope.
Lovely, that's what I like. So then we get to permission and guarantee, right? So this is where we now go back to word, right? Listen, I have conversations like this every day, so you're not the odd one out, right? Now, look, I could be wrong, man, but as the business owner, would you be opposed to seeing how you can add more revenue to business? Why do you think, Latham, we say, would you be opposed rather saying than would you like to have a call?
Really, because you won't just get one straight answer. You really get like yes or no. You get that sort of
Close.
they'll just tell you straight up.
Close. What are business owners who get cold called every day used to saying on the phone? What one word are they always going to say when they typically pick up the phone? Who's this? And if they're not happy with it and they want to put down the phone, what would they say? What's the 2 word begins with N?
Don't count.
No, right? So what we're doing here is we're leveraging what they're used to saying on the phone, which is no, right? So what we're doing here is saying, would you be opposed to seeing how we could actually add more revenue to your business? No, of course not. Why would I be opposed to that? Whereas if we frame it like, would you want to add more revenue to your business? They're used to saying no on the phone, so we want to leverage as much stuff as possible with this, right? And then what we do here is we pause and let them agree, right? From here, no, of course I wouldn't. Why wouldn't I? And would you be opposed to me explaining a little bit about what we actually do in the first place to see if it even makes sense? No, of course not, right? Because the problem is they're so used to saying no on the phone, we want to use that to our advantage, right? Every single day of the week. Now, this is where we get into the pitch. The pitch is absolute fire if you make it land. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, look through the Trustpilot reviews we've got, look through the testimonies, we've got a shit ton. This will help you give more conviction on the pitch, because if you have conviction here, you will book every day of the week. So what we want to do here is we say, look man, I'll keep it short and sweet for you, right? Based on our conversation, we could actually guarantee you a minimum of 6 to 10 appointments for those solar jobs we discussed per month. And we actually put our money where our mouth is, right? So what we do is we give you a 30-day money back guarantee if by somehow we don't deliver, right? And would 6 to 10 pre-qualified jobs in the first place even get you out of bed? And again, we're building leverage here, right? They're obviously buying in now. Now, what we're doing here is they're leaning in, we're leaning out, right? Because they're now qualifying to what else? No, that would be what I want. And would that even make a dent in your business in the first place? Of course, they're going to say yes to that as well, right? So here we're building even more leverage so it's easy for us to book, right? Now, when we get to this stage here, this is just the USP part. This makes us sound different to every other agency, because most agencies, right guys, what they will do is they will just run ads. What we do is completely different. Now, what I'm going to do for you guys, so you fully understand the service delivery, is I'm going to share with you, I know Kevin you do, but I'm just going to show you real quick guys the service delivery and what I use to pitch on the calls in the first place. So on here we have the process as follows. So we do a review blitz first off. This is where we ask for referrals within the reviews to get them more jobs just from people who are already warm in the first place. We then create a custom front end offer based on their ideal customer profile and the types of people they're wanting. Then we do income-based targeting on the ads, targeting the people that they actually want and also the people that can afford the service and who are financially qualified. Then we build out an authority funnel based on all the proof that we've stacked back here in the review blitz, which therefore means that we've got way hotter leads. Then we give them a remote sales team. This is a sales team that will contact all of their leads for the first minute they come through. 5 to 15% of those people are obviously going to book in straight away, but 85 to 95% of people will not book. This is where the CSA will contact them, nurture them, follow up with them consistently. And so they get them booked in. Then we build out a show rate strategy to maximize the probability of these people closing by giving them objection prevention sequences. So a lot of B2C clientele for our clients will be like, I need to go speak to my partner, I need to go speak to my wife, I'm not sure if it's the right time, I need to go think about it. What we do here is we pre-handle those objections by leveraging the social proof that's here that we get, right? And then what we do from there is, because they've seen that social proof, they're number one going to be easier to close. But then what they do is, based on their feedback, so they get a form sent through about sales feedback. Did you close them, yes or no? What cash collected happened? What went well? What didn't go so well? What do we need to improve on? And that then goes into their very own sales resource. So our CSM, who jumps on a call with them, looks at this sales resource. You've got a lot of, I need to go think about it. I want you to go through this sales course specifically, which is the I need to think about it one, and show you how to handle that in the correct way. Because if we increase your close rate, let's say by 5%, we're going to close 20 more deals, right? If we look at the data here. And then finally, ROI tracking and data driven. So we track everything on their own dashboards, both on GHL and on the spreadsheets. And then what we do once they close jobs, we give them a Google review. And what that Google review, we send them a Google review, not the client, the person that's done the job, but through our system. And that adds and stacks back to the proof back at the start here. So that's the full system, right? So most agencies will run just a simple process of we'll run your ads. This is a full acquisition system, just to reiterate and change things slightly. Again, guys, I'm talking a lot. Is there any questions from what I covered there?
No, everything clear. Like
Cool.
water.
This call recording, remember, goes into the Slack channel for the sales team. If I'm talking too fast, you're like, fucking hell, this is a lot. Go back through the call recording at any point, guys. All right. Then what we're gonna do, this is where we pitch. All right. Now the pitch is all about conviction, the way that you talk, right? If you believe in the product and that it works, which by the way, it fucking does, which is why we've got all the testimonials, Trustpilot reviews, everything like that, then you will more than likely book at this process here. So here is where we make sure that they are saying yes. So great, and not only that, but will you personally, great, and not only that, but we will personally build out your own custom done for you PPM system. Now you're probably wondering what that is in the first place, right? And they'll say, obviously, what are we doing here, Morgan, by saying you're probably wondering what that is?
You're creating.
So begins with C.
Like interest.
Yes, yes. Curiosity. Good man. Good. So we're evoking curiosity. We're like, I wonder what that is. And then this is how we pitch. So what this actually is we install the project pipeline machine system. This is a fully done for you process that handles everything from generating the lead all the way to getting the job closed. And we optimize every single angle for those solar jobs through a consistent monthly basis. So what we do first off is we optimize your proof. We get you more reviews in, which is, again, proof beats promise. The next thing we're going to do here is do income-based targeting, right? And by the way, if they've had someone who's done, they're working with someone, this is where we use leverage around, I'm presuming these guys optimized your proof first off, so you could just get more organic straight away. Oh no, when we're making ourselves sound different to them, right? So we're evoking even more what, Morgan? We're evoking even more what?
Curiosity.
Yes. So what we're doing here is we're optimizing the proof first off, and then we go move into income-based targeting. We're targeting your ideal customer profile, not only from what you give us based on all of the data, but also we do a research within your area of the highest income areas. Then we designate you your own CSA team, which is a client success agent team, contacting all your leads within the minute they come through the funnel. I'm sure you know how valuable that is. And then what we're going to do is qualify them based on your ideal customer profile. And we're not even done yet, by the way. Then finally, what we're going to do is increase your close rate by giving you access to the 7-figure sales process all of our top solar clients use to close high ticket jobs on a daily basis. That way everything leans in one direction for yourself. More high ticket jobs for you. Would having 6 to 10 of those high ticket jobs every single month even be helpful to yourself in the first place? Obviously by this point, what are they going to say, Kevin? 9 times out of 10.
I'm gonna say,
Yeah, and right, this is where we book them. So again, well, what we could do instead, man, of chatting back and forth is we could get a call for, we've been chatting for the last amount of minutes. What we could do is get a call sorted. Would you be opposed to that at all? Of course not. And then what we could do is find a time this week to let you sit down for a consultation call with the business owner, Sam. Then understand where your business is at in more depth, understand where you want to take it, and see if it would even be a good fit, if that even interests you in the first place. Now, what are they 95% going to say here, Kevin?
I'd say yes.
If we pitch the right way, 1,000% they'll say yes. If they say no, you've done something wrong in the process, which means you just go back to the discovery area, try and build more pain, and then book again. And present the booking again, all right? And by the way, you're gonna make mistakes. That's the reality of it. You're gonna get rejected, it's the reality of it. But the more we do it, the better we get with everything. Because what we do here is we tie them down again. Are you sure? 100%. Yeah, no, 100% I want to book a call. Because what we've done then is we tied them down twice already before we even booked the call. What a tie down is we are confirming with them that they are going to and are actually wanting this solution or this thing that we're talking about, right? And then we say, let me see, we have X day, X or X day. So let's say it's Thursday. Oh, cool, man. So we've got Friday morning or Friday afternoon. Which one works better for you? Again, one thing you'll notice is same day bookings actually have a worse show rate than next day bookings based on the data that we've collected within the business at the moment. So you want to try and push for next day bookings. If they really want to do same day, fuck yeah, get them in same day. But typically next day bookings have the best show rate. Day after bookings, anything further than that, you need to nurture them a little bit and follow the appointment booking process for that. And then all we say here, so which works better for you, morning or afternoon? And then what we come to is the appointment booking process. Any questions about all of that, guys? Lovely. Then we come to the appointment. So were you saying something?
Yeah, or not I recall, the appointment booking, is going to be within GoHighLevel as the appointment booking feature, or like a separate calendar?
So it's a separate Calendly. If you watch this here,
Okay.
this will run through it all of how to. There's also on here Yeah, so it will show you on here how to book them. You will have the appointment booking link, which is this here. This is where you book the lead in through this here. If you watch this here, it will show you the whole process, and that's on the day 2 training, so you probably haven't gone through that yet, but that's on there, right? So watch this. This is also another part to it as well, so you've got both of these to go through. But what we want to do is, I haven't set up a word by word call framework here. Like I've done a framework for you rather than a script. I'm sure most of you guys rather a script, because we work better that way. But the script has to be done for outbound on those parts that are word for word, because we know it works. You can go into the framework in Discovery, that's absolutely fine. And you can also just cover the framework for appointment booking. So the first thing is, on the call, we are booking the lead in, right? So we're on here, we come into here like so, on Calendly, we click this here and we select the time, let's say here, and we put their name in, so the business, their email, what their company, their trade company is called, what niche they're in, what's stopping them, what their pain point is, are they the decision maker? By the way we ask this, cool, is there like anyone else that needs to be on the call that also owns the business as well? If they're like, oh yeah, there is, cool, is it okay if you add them onto the call and bring them onto the call as well? Because I can't someone only like one of the out of the 2 owners on, unless they're like 100% I can make a decision on that call, they know I'm on the call. Then obviously just reconfirm and tie down that they will show, and then put their mobile number in for the US in here. This is where they'll get their appointment book reminders for that. Okay, there is a whole SOP on it as well for that. Once we get to this section here, guys, this is what we want to be doing on the call, right? So we're on the phone with them. They've confirmed, yeah, I want to do this. This is 100% something that I want to do, right? Kevin, what's the next step from here?
After you have them booked.
So once you're on the phone with them and they're like, yeah, I want to call.
So you got to get them to confirm the invite that's sent to their email, and then make the group chat as well.
100%. So does he have an iPhone, Shaquille?
No, Android guy.
Okay, so you will have to do this on WhatsApp. So you have to get the guys the business owners to download WhatsApp. Morgan, Latham, Kevin, you do this on iMessage. If they don't have iMessage, get them to create it on WhatsApp, just to be clear, right? And this is where we do a few things, right? So we get them to confirm. The biggest thing is we want them on the call to confirm that they've got the calendar invite through. Just guys, have you got, did you get that through? Can you just click yes for me on your calendar, just so I confirm attendance and that's locked in for you and Sam? That's the first thing. The second thing we want to do is create the group chat. Now, just to be clear, you might not be able to keep the business phone. I know, Kevin, you had a problem with this. You might not be able to get the business owner to stay on the phone. That lowest form of making sure that they, before they leave the phone call, is you need to get them to accept it on their calendar at least.